Another important location on The Sopranos is Christopher Moltisanti's mother's home, Joanne Blundetto. Just a note, when we first meet Joanne Blundetto, she's actually played by a different person, just to clarify. Christopher makes a visit at the end of season 4, episode 1, for All Debts Public and Private, and he sits in the kitchen looking at a picture of him with his dad when he was a baby, and then also looking at some things on the fridge.
Where on the fridge?
On the fridge! On the fridge!
Where on the fucking fridge?
And they all make me think of something else in the show. So that's what this video is about. Let's begin. The cat. When we see a magnet of an orange tabby cat on the fridge, of course my mind immediately jumps to the series finale. Particularly given how the cat sits and stares at Christopher's picture on the wall all day. But that doesn't mean that the cat is necessarily Christopher. Maybe it's Adriana.
Does it all the time, he says.
Meow.
Oh, yeah? Look at him staring at that dead kid.
Meow.
Gives me the fucking creeps.
What is it? You okay?
Actually, you know I love it here, and you are such a great boss. But Christopher doesn't want me working anymore.
When Christopher's really pissed about the floor tile situation, he and Adriana pull up to the job site, and Patsy says,
Oh, look what the cat dragged in.
in season 6, episode 12, Kaisha, Christopher's talking to Juliana, and across the street, Tony sees them chatting. Christopher can feel that tension. I'm sure Tony can feel it too. And then Tony just kind of walks away without saying anything. And Christopher stands there for a few seconds, and right behind him, you see a sign that says cat grooming. You know, cat grooming specifically. Made me think.
Meow.
Sometimes most of the day just stares at Chrissy's picture.
So what else do we see on the fridge? One day at a time?
I don't have any peanut butter. I haven't kept it since you left.
Keep it simple. It's complicated. Some cases, we can't keep it simple.
You're a real fucking drip lately.
When I was using, I was a disgrace. Now I'm sober and I'm a drip. The fuck you want from me?
What about being normal? That's so fucking hard?
Actually, yeah, Paulie. For some of us, it is.
Do you ever do anything like a normal person? There is a belt. It's that on the table, Daddy's Navy picture.
You ever miss him?
When he was in prison? Or since he's been dead?
For now, we have an expression around here. Keep it simple.
As Christopher's heading out, he looks at the refrigerator one more time, and he puts the bill over the one day at a time sticker.
One day at a time.
Sure, one day at a time. But when it comes to one day at a time in the mafia, that means you're only as good as the last envelope you give today. One day at a time, you better have enough to pay up.
I'm gonna let you sleep one day. Then you're gonna get the fuck up and you're gonna go get my $45,000.
Yeah, no problem. Jesus, how about the luck on that Silvio, huh? I could use a Schwitz. Wanna go for a Schwitz?
If after one day you don't give me every penny, I'm gonna send somebody down to your joint every Saturday for 5% interest. If you don't have it, it gets tacked onto the principal. Do you understand?
We can also see little magnets that are numbers on the fridge in different places, and to me, this makes me think of cats again. And their 9 lives. In many ways, you could argue that Christopher had 9 lives. He got a lot of chances that others wouldn't have gotten if they weren't Christopher Moltisanti.
You're staying in. You're going to every fucking session and you're going to keep your mouth shut. Now, if you need anything, anything at all, Patsy's going to be half a mile away from you in a motel. You understand what I'm saying to you? Huh? Do you understand?
Tony, I'm sorry. How did I fucking get to this?
My son, those sons of bitches! Fucking vodka.
One of the many potential causes of addiction is trauma. When we think of trauma and the cycle of trauma and intergenerational trauma and stopping that cycle, it requires communication and openness.
How you been?
Fine.
Aid sends her love.
Right. Say hello.
You watch that Bailey's, I'll give you a shot in the head.
Look who's talking.
What?
Never mind what.
By having this kind of resentful tone and resentful manner toward Christopher.
Did I saddle you with a stepfather?
Saddle makes me think of horse, but I guess that's for another day. She assumes that he wouldn't have wanted to be saddled with a stepfather or a father figure. Maybe the father figures and fathers that Joanne Blundetto experienced growing up were all negative and impacted her in a negative way. So maybe she thinks that she's protecting Christopher, but perhaps it could have helped Christopher. Or it could have perhaps made things worse if it was someone who was a bad influence. But without that father figure, or stepfather, who was left to be his father really, but Tony.
My heart's fucking breaking and you're blowing me off? You know, my father fucking abandoned me.
I thought he was shot.
Instead of being happy to see him, or just sitting down at the table with him and talking, she kind of just turned away. His very passive-aggressive, sarcastic comments. Perhaps this is a cry for help. Perhaps Christopher was looking for love. He was looking for comfort. He was looking for his mother. In this episode, Christopher kills Barry Haydu after Tony tells him that that's the cop that killed his father. So Christopher just did something really big. It wasn't his first kill, but it was pretty intense. And I think he feels vulnerable after this. Doesn't necessarily feel badly. I don't think he feels badly about killing Barry Haydu, but I think he feels badly about himself and this life that he's currently living and the person that he's taking direction from. We can't discount this moment here because it's at this point, from this point on, that Christopher really spirals full on headfirst into his heroin addiction.
No, it's all right.
You remember Dickie Moltisanti?
Must be a restaurant
No.
No?
What's the matter, baby? Tony again?
I owe this guy a lot, but he's a fucking jerk sometimes. Are you inferring that you didn't take cash from Jilly Ruffalo to whack my father while he was carrying a TV tray for me to watch TV? I'm gonna get high.
Christopher, I thought you were gonna stop using junk because of your new job.
I am. This is my goodbye party with heroin.
So, I know that was a lot, but that's kind of the point. Just from this one scene, we can delve into so many different topics and explore so many different issues. And that's one of the things that I love about The Sopranos. You take just one scene that may not even seem like a big deal, and you can use it to discuss so many different issues, like mental health, addiction, trauma, families, violence. So it's about so much more than just what we see at the surface. And that's part of what keeps it enjoyable and makes every rewatch feel like further exploration. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this latest video. Let me know what you think.
Your ass is sitting